Hello there, everyone, and welcome to Super Cast Brothers, the only podcast where you can find two idiots holding a big man amiibo in front of their faces as if it was a mask. That's it. That's the intro. I'm Zantok, otherwise known as Lister. That's Jonno, otherwise known as John. No! Did Big Man eat you? Or are you just full on lasagna?
I love lasagna.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah.
You would be a lasagna loving freak.
My dream is to one day live on a great flying lasagna in outer space.
Yeah. Maybe one day you'll make the Great Flying Lasagna stage on Smashtopia.
Yeah, I knew you'd get my reference.
Maybe one day you'll push your items from the item cornucopia episode on the wiki.
We do wish to... We are a hopeful group around here.
Yeah, that's a word.
What if they're already up by the time this episode comes out?
You know what? Wait, shit. What day is
Wink,
this going
wink.
up? What day is this going up? I don't know. I have to go
It's
look.
going up 8 days from the day of recording.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You could do it. You could do it. But good luck to you.
Yeah, I'll get that banana laser up there.
Yeah, well, Baby Mario Bros. Just do it.
Put them in Smash.
Put them in Smash. Baby Mario Bros. should absolutely be in Smash.
Yep. You know, in another world, they could have taken over for the Ice Climber's role as a duo character.
In another world, they could have. I ain't salty.
About what?
Nothing. That hasn't aired yet.
Oh, something's gonna air?
I don't know. Maybe I might delete the file. I don't know.
It's like you did all those years ago on Mercurius.
I was not the mystery deleter. I was not. We all know who it was. We know who it was.
Yeah.
It was DK3.
Is it? Yep.
It had to be. It's the only person it could have been.
Never trusted Ginger. Except for the ones that listen to this podcast. We love you.
What about the ones that have been guests on this podcast but don't listen to it?
Like Kelly?
Like Curb Walker.
Curb Walker? So yeah, I trust him as far as I can see him.
He doesn't live that. He lives closer to you than I do.
Yeah, no. So I guess you must trust him a little less than me.
Oh, absolutely. Fuck that guy.
I trust him about a 2 hours distance away. You'll trust him about what 20 hours. There you go.
Headmaster's photo.
Precisely, yes. And now it's a Big Man episode. Smashtopia.
Yep, we're making a moveset for Big Man. We thought about doing the Octoling, but we were just like, you know what? That's so basic. We got Big Man. He can do everything an Octoling can do, but more.
He can like flap around and stuff, you know, with his big, meaty tendrils here.
Tendrils?
Yeah, that's a word for them.
Is that what they're called on a manta ray? Tendrils.
I don't know. Let's see.
Why don't you go look that up? We're both looking it up. Because I feel like they're just fins.
Wings.
They're just fins.
Enlarged pectoral fins. Nice.
Fucking
And a whip-like
tendril,
tail.
please. You got a whip-like tail.
Oh yeah.
Did
Is
you
your tail
know?
different?
Did you know that every Splatoon amiibo has exactly 2 individual drops of ink that are separate from everything else, with one being larger than the other? Every single Splatoon amiibo has this. I realized that when I was looking at the Big Man amiibo. I was like, wait a minute. All of them have the same pattern. Every single one.
What the heck?
Because Pearl,
Mm-hmm.
Callie, I can't see it here. I don't know. There it
Mm-hmm.
is. Shiver, Marina, or yeah, Marie, uh, and I don't have the normal ones. Oh, they're over there. They're out of arm's reach. I'm not getting out of my chair. But they all have it. I was
Wow.
like, what the hell? Huh. Okay.
Funny how that works.
Yeah. Don't know.
I love the shading on the Big Man's amiibo. It's pretty nice.
It's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
This might be one of their top quality amiibos, like period, like top 5.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. It's great. Hence why he'll be in Smash.
Honestly, it'd be a wild choice,
Mm-hmm.
and at minimum, he's going to be an assist trophy, bar minimum.
Mm-hmm.
But we ain't here to actually talk about Big Man today. No, we're not.
Oh, wow.
We are here to do some showcases first.
Oh yeah, that.
And then something
Yes.
else after. Because we're still
Okay.
doing those.
Yes, we are.
Is this our first character of the season? I think, yeah, this is our first character of the season. No, it's not. We did Psycho Mantis. Wow,
Mhm.
we're already at the second character of the season.
We are.
Time is a
Been
weird soup.
hustling. That too.
Alright, so we're going to get into our character. You can see their name or their title. If you don't know who that is, that's honestly not surprising.
Varoom.
Sure. But we're going to lead off by going over a few things that are just on the Smashtopia Wiki, as we do for these episodes, that, were created off podcast. So, Jonno, why don't you go ahead and lead us off here with your first showcase today?
Okay. Well, I'm digging you, right?
That's weird.
Yeah, I sure do dig you, buddy. Like a shovel,
Okay.
like in Minecraft.
Are you taking
So,
me a grave? You gonna kill me?
No,
Take
not
me out of
yet.
my misery?
And I'm going to tell you about the Diggin' You event match that they made on the Smashtopia wiki.
Event matches? People still make those?
Yeah, I've made one, and you've made many more than those on the wiki, actually.
To be fair, most of the ones I made were before spirits were a thing.
Oh, true. Okay, but all the same. So let's set the scene here. This event match, event number 69, Diggin' You, is a Minecraft theme event match where Steve has fallen in love.
Oh.
But he's actually just been hit with the love spell bow.
Oh.
So, yeah. So what you're doing, you're chasing me, Steve rather, he's a computer character, is chasing after me brawlers dressed as creepers. And instead of attacking them, he'll heal them with team healers and healing fields. As they're attacked by you, you're playing as Alex. So you can't KO Steve, but dispatch of the 3 me brawlers and you'll win.
So Steve X Creeper confirmed.
Yep.
All right, fanfic in quotes writers, get to it.
And of course,
I almost said one of the other words. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna say one of the other words on this show. This is a family-friendly show, right? We watch our fucking language here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Good times. They will be nominated for Best Podcast at the Game Awards.
Yeah. I mean, I would take their money to appear, but yeah. I mean, there can't
Yeah.
be that many Smash Brothers themed podcasts out there. There used the only other one I ever knew. Well, I guess you could count Good Morning Source Gaming, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
They're not actually just Smash focused, but that's where they got their start. It's too bad
Mm-hmm.
Show Me Your News isn't around anymore. I like those guys.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, with how big the community is pretty vocal, so it's actually kind of surprising that a Smash themed podcast hasn't taken off, but here
That
we
we
are.
know of, at least. It's
That
not.
we
To
know
be
of.
fair, the community is also not aware of us.
Yep. One day we'll at least be the longest Smash Brothers podcast.
What we probably already are. Uh, but
Cool.
one day we'll actually advertise and get out there,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, we're gonna buy a spot in the local paper.
We'll buy ads on Reddit. There you go. We'll do the Facebook targeted ads where it's like, okay, you get to select what category of people do you want. It's like, do you want to advertise to men that are 30 to 35, or do you want to advertise to literally everybody? It's like literally everybody, because that's what all
Yep.
ads do. It's like I see an ad. It's like, why am I seeing an ad for this? And I look at it, it's like the ad targeting things. It's like, this ad is targeting men in America. It's like, really? That's You're not forcing them to get more specific than that? Come the fuck on. Come the fuck
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Men in America between the ages of 30 and 31.287 who specifically shop for Raglan sweaters at Dillard's on Main Street in New York City.
This feels targeted. This feels very targeted. And I don't know who
Yeah.
you're targeting this to, but it isn't me.
No, it is not.
Because that's too young for me.
Yep. Maybe it's EBIT.
I don't know how old EBIT is. It could be you.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
It
Yeah.
could be baby Eric.
Oh, he's not between the ages of 30 and 31.278.
I don't fucking know. All I know is he's younger than me by at least 2 years.
That's true. Trevor will be in that age range, though, in a few days after this podcast airs.
Oh, is this targeted towards Trevor?
May as well be.
Okay, it's targeted towards Trevor. Congratulations, Trevor. You have received a targeted ad for Super Casper List, the podcast that you haven't heard of. Because he doesn't watch the show.
At least Flame Zone does.
No, Flame Zone's mom watches the show.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Flame Zone's mom. Thank you so much. We love that you're here.
Why does your son call himself Flame Zone?
Used to fit him really well. He was a flamer.
That's a term with multiple meanings, and I feel like we should move on.
What?
We're gonna move on from
I did
that.
not know this.
We
He
are
flamed
gonna
people on
move
forums.
to my first showcase. It's a stage. It's a stage based off of an old NES game called Stack Up, which you used to have to play with your little robotic operating buddy. You would give him commands with your controller, and he would pick up the little discs along his base, and he'd move them around because, yeah, it's a video game, I guess.
Mhm.
Sure. All right. So yeah, here's what the stage is going to look like. It's got 3 simple platforms. Ignore the colors for now. Ignore the colors. It's got 3 simple platforms that are used to fight on. The middle one is, offset a little bit lower than the other 2, but beyond that, it's just like 3 simple platforms just floating in space. In the background of the stage, there's a gigantic Rob, the robotic operating buddy. He's just in the background, and there will be blocks on these platforms: red, blue, yellow, and green. And just like in Stack Up. In Stack Up, there's also a white block, but considering when I make my stage designs, I had a white background in paint. I wasn't going to draw a white one, so I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But essentially, could imagine there would be 5 blocks. But Rob will pick up a block, lift it up, move it to another spot, slap it down. So every time you start the stage, there will be blocks randomly distributed between the 3 platforms. There could be all 4 could be on one. They could be as even distributed as possible with 2 on one. You could have 2 and 2 and nothing on another one. It can be set up like that at all. Uh, or sometimes Rob might just hold one in the middle of the screen. He's just holding it, so it's just like floating up in the air somewhere. Sometimes that block might just be in the background. Sometimes he might actually like be holding it in the foreground, just not on one of the actual platforms. But as fights happen, like he's like constantly moving blocks and shifting them around. And if you can fight on top of one while it's being carried, but if you're on top of one that he's about to put a new block down onto, maybe move because you're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
slammed with damage and you're gonna get sent flying. Just like if you're underneath one of the blocks that will magically appear and fall down on the living room stage. Don't get under the block when Rob's about to put one down. It's very deadly to you. Not an instant KO. Oh wait, no, I do actually write down. If you are standing on top of one of the blocks and you get crushed, you are instantly KO'd. Because listen, you had time. If you're in the air, you'll just get like knocked around, so you have a chance to get out of there. But if you're just standing there, it's like, all right, time to die.
Yep. Yep. Oh, to die between the uh, things that Rob holds,
Yeah.
the rings. That's a really interesting stage concept. I like that better than most retro stage ideas. Um, People will say, "Oh, I want a Dr. Mario stage where you're fighting in the virus bottle." So it'd be interesting, but this seems a little more so. Probably just to me because it's so far fetched and cool. It's a cool idea. I would not be against it. You mean the ancient minister stacks blocks in his spare time?
Yes.
Cool.
And the little
Imagine.
platforms, if
Yes.
there's not a block on top of one of them, then they are completely pass-through, so you can jump up through them, fall down. But once like one of the big blocks is on it, you can't do that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That would be an interesting stage to play on. The significantly less bannable than like actual Smash stages like Cannonbow. So.
Oh, it's 100% getting banned.
Oh, definitely. It's just not as
It
cringy.
it's got a stage hazard. It's banned.
True. True. What do you think about that greater Smash community when this episode goes viral?
They would agree.
Tell us now.
This I haven't
Oh
said
yeah,
any opinion on the banning of stages. I have opinions, but I don't said any opinion on this. Therefore, there's nothing for them to get upset about.
that's a whole
They would
other episode.
agree.
You're right.
This stage would get banned. Actually, you know what? We should add that as a discussion for a later episode. Let's talk about that after this one is over, because banning stages in the competitive community, we haven't talked anything about competitive Smash ever in our 4 years of this show.
Nope. Because we're not competitive Smash gamers.
We're not.
That's why Kelly whoops her ass every time we play with him.
And Kelly also turns off items like, no, give me the items. Fuck you. I want the items. The items give me a chance.
Right.
It's like,
Uh,
he's on his way. Throw the bob. Throw the bob.
Yep. Us versus Kelly and Sakurai with his 2-controller method.
Sakurai wins.
There you go.
Me.
Yep. I'd let him. I don't want him to, lose at his own game.
No, I would go for it for real. Be like, nah, we're going for it. If I'm
I
going to
was-
fight you, I'm going for it.
I know. I was joking. Okay. Well, all that said, speaking of things that only very few people know, unlike this podcast.
Your middle name is Francis.
Yep. And yours. How strange.
Yeah, honestly,
A magnetic
weird.
connection.
Yeah.
Francis to
sense.
Francis. Mm-hmm. It does. It does. I mean, it's biologics. I'm going to talk about the last story.
Which story?
The last one, not the Final Fantasy.
Wait, no. What was the last story we were talking about?
The one where the dog came home for Christmas in the bee costume.
I love that one. It was so wholesome until you found out that he actually murdered the kid's father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he possessed the body of a snowman.
While putting the blood in the cookies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a
Heartwarming.
twist. Yeah, yeah. Touching.
I didn't expect to
So
see a
it's
crossover with
yeah.
the new Winnie the Pooh horror movie, though. That was a shock. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't think we were going there, but sure.
I like the Jack Frost movie I was alluding to. When the Winnie the Pooh horror film is apparently absolutely horrible. So there's that.
Shocker.
Yeah, it's a shocker indeed. Yeah, Blood and Honey is what it's called. Blood
Is
and
it
Honey.
is it better or worse than Cocaine Bear?
I'm gonna guess it's way worse.
That's bad. That's real bad. Where's our
I haven't
Chucky
seen.
Finster horror movie? Oh wait,
Oh, it's coming.
it's called It.
No.
Chucky grew up to be Pennywise confirmed.
I would. Okay, I ship it.
That's not his ship. That's
Teach me
no.
more, fellow kid.
What? Oh my god.
I have
Just
not.
tell us about your story.
Okay. Once upon a time, there was a project, an operation, if you will, called Rainfall. Okay, so the last story was, at the time, Hironobu Sakiguchi's last game, which is funny because Final Fantasy was also that 30 plus years ago. And he kind of mimicked the name. It's a good RPG now. A whole lot of people know about it. Of the 3 titles that were brought to the West after fan acclaim and Nintendo seeing good marketing opportunity, Xenoblade came up on top and became a success, thankfully. The other 2 kind of didn't. But I also like the other 2 games. Especially the last story. So Zale is the main character of the last story. You see him at first glance. He's got all the fixins. It's like, yeah, this is the guy that made Final Fantasy, all right. Look at all the chains in lieu of zippers. And a sword. Yep. A nice zip up. So it's all there. But anyway, Zale is a mercenary who is contracted by Lady Callista, who is the royal princess of Lazarus Island. Blah blah blah. Bada bing, bada boom. World changing entities, apocalyptic forces. You know, the usual JRPG stuff. So, how does Zale differentiate himself from other sword fighters? Let's get into it. So, it's been so long since I've showcased the character. We go from the entrance down, right?
I typically do, yes.
Okay, well, let's all pretend that you know Zale. Let's go on this trip together. For his entrance, Zale zooms into place using his Gale technique. So he zooms forward, appearing in a burst of wind magic. So he's a mage as well. Yes, precisely. Kirby, his Kirby hat. Kirby does what he finds essential in times like this, gathering up Zale's hair and copying it for himself. Good times. And then Zale has his blade is called the Chaos Blade. He holds it outward for his up taunt, horizontally over his stomach. Meanwhile, the chains on his jacket and his hair float as the outsider's powers activate, making him glow a subtle blue. The outsider being kind of an alien entity that he came into contact with at the beginning of the game. God. Zale, for his down taunt, looks down at his right hand, which activates with the power of the outsider, glowing blue with a compass-like aura effect surrounding it. It's like, oh my.
Oh my.
It's like George Takei. His let's see, side taunt. He'll spin the Chaos Blade around his body. Before returning to his idle stance, he'll say, "By my honor, or I shall do my best." You know, he's doing his best to have lines as good as like.
I fight for
His
my
victory
friends.
pose. I sure do. Victory poses. So Much like our friend Morgana, Callista appears in the first one, and she hugs Zale and says, "I knew you could do it, Zale." Heartwarming. Number 2, there is a fortune teller in the last story. So, like when he has his fortune told, Zale lifts his hands into the air and is like, "Rah, rah, rah," with a awkward smile. So he's like, number 3, he spins the Chaos Blade as he turns his back towards the camera, plants it into the ground, and shouts. You'll like this one. Another one for Team Zale. Getting into the meat of it here, the crux of the moveset, if you will, the moveset itself. He has a crossbow for his standard special. So, and this, of course, comes with its own little trick. So Zale retrieves his crossbow, yes, and fires a standard shot. The shot travels about 5 Kirby's forward before falling to the ground. The bolt disappears a moment later. If it hits an opponent, it's a quick couple % damage, but it's easily stackable like Fox's Blaster. So it's a good, like, keep away flinching move. Yeah, precisely. Hold down the special button, though, and a small rotational menu appears above Zale's head, signaling options for him to choose between. He's able to swap out the standard crossbow bolts for a lightning bolt, for paralysis arrows, a firework icon for firework arrows. So if he goes to the right and chooses the paralysis arrows, he will shoot forward a single shot that carries a stun effect. If he tilts the stick left and chooses firework arrows, the bolt travels nowhere near as far, but it explodes on impact, about as hard as a bomb would, which is actually pretty hefty.
Does it make like an actual
bolts,
fireworks effect, or is it just like an explosion?
an actual firework effect.
Yes.
Yeah, precisely. The caveat being that his standard bolts are unlimited, but he has 5 paralyzer arrows and 2 firework arrows at a time. After using all of them, so if he uses all of his paralysis arrows, for instance, he'll have to wait 10 seconds before they recharge.
Okay.
For his side special, it's a Taste of Gale, which we saw in the entrance. So using Gale, Zale dashes forward, slashing at foes with his Chaos Blade at the back end of the attack. So as he does show, a burst of wind magic gathers around the blade, and that dishes out an additional burst of cut damage. It could also be charged, allowing Zale to travel further and hit harder depending on the length of his charge. And as he charges the attack, a cursor appears like Sephiroth's Octoslash that allows Zale to angle the attack omnidirectionally. It's a gradual, flowy move forward, so it can be easily telegraphed. If you get caught in it, it can do some damage. The up special is Wall Slash. Zale leaps into the air, dishing out mild damage to anyone caught in his ascent. On the come down, he'll automatically drive the Chaos Blade downward, stabbing it quickly and harshly into the ground. So this is a Meteor Smash move. And if he is beside a wall or similar platform, he will run up the wall up until the player lets go of the input. So he can essentially infinitely run up a wall if he's next to one.
Jesus. That's new.
Once he does leap from the platform, he will be able to perform the drive down stab. As he makes his ascent up the wall, he's like a running duck, so you can kind of take him down while he's unable to attack. His down special is Magic Circle. So a small pulsating circle of light appears beneath Zale. It could be one of 3 colors, each representing a different element. Red for fire, blue for ice, and green for forest. They will be summoned in the order aforementioned, and only one can be present on screen at a time. If Zale uses the attack while in midair, he'll come up with nothing and be penalized for a moment. But on the ground, though, these circles are pretty potent defense and trap mechanisms. Any opponent who runs over the red circle will unleash a burst of flames onto them. It jets upwards up to about Bowser's height. If they touch the blue circle, the same occurs, but with a burst of ice that could freeze them. And finally, the forest circle summons a tree about the same size as villagers, though in the last story aesthetic instead of Animal Crossings, of course. The tree dishes out strong damage to anyone caught up in it, and it will remain on stage for numerous seconds until it disappears or is knocked over. So you would imagine that when it falls, it deals more damage than otherwise. The final smash is Ancient Barrier. Callista appears in the background behind Zale, holding her hands in prayer and casting her Ancient Barrier spell. Suddenly, Zale glows gold, and he himself casts Accelerate. So for the next 12 seconds, that's actually oddly specific, I don't know why I did that, Zale receives numerous buffs. So for one, he has tough body with very high damage and knockback percentages. He also sees significant buffs to his speed and attack power. Gale produces stronger versus winds and helps him travel further and faster. Magic circles deliver greater, further reaching spells. The crossbow bolts deal more damage, and the paralysis and firework bolts have unlimited ammo. And Wall Slash delivers a more devastating blow upon impact with heavy KO potential. So standard attacks too are heavily buffed, and they're more combo ready. When Callista leaves the stage ending the prayer, the move is done. As the move is being carried out, the stage falls into dusk with a meteor shower in the background, similar to the iconic area in the last story, the Stargazer's Tower. His extra skill is kind of what he's known for in the game. It's Gathering. So he has the Mark of the Outsider on his hand. It glows bright blue and activates, surrounding Zale in a soft, glowing light. And while this move is in effect, Zale will have assist trophies, Pokemon, enemies, and bosses all will prioritize their attacks towards him. Conversely, items will also be attracted to him, and he will magnetize them as he approaches them. So any damage that he receives while gathering is in effect will be multiplied by 1.5 times its normal percentage. But a small meter present under his character icon represents a damage bar while gathering is active. The higher the bar is filled, the more devastating the subsequent attack will be once Zale passes the extra skill input again. So he then takes out his Zan Lance, which, again, it's a lance that he uses occasionally, and he crashes it down into the stage. Yep.
Bitch.
And he uses your dark magic. He bursts it down into the stage in an incredible show of dark magic. And the attack becomes larger the more the bar is filled, and the blow becomes more significant. You can use the move once the first bar is filled, but it won't be that impressive. Fill up all of the bars by receiving 100% damage or more while in this state, and you could KO heavyweight characters from as low as 30% damage.
Jesus.
Yeah, but naturally after that, it takes a pretty long time for it to build up, and if you're not using it, you don't use it, you lose it.
Man, you
So
think if I had his gathering, I'd be able to make people attracted to me for once? Because he attracts everything near him, so
yeah.
You know.
I guess that you're using gathering right now.
That's not true.
Big Man says otherwise.
Big Man is just trying to make me feel better.
He's a good man. He's a good guy with his tendrils.
Very big of him.
Yes, it is. Zale's ultimate costumes, not to go through all of them, but they are based off of the various party members and other important characters in the game, as other RPG characters in Smash tend to do, like Lucina. And his home stage is Stargazer's Tower, which I mentioned earlier. So, there you go. There's that long-winded showcase.
Hey, I mean, if I went over every one of Mega Man .exe's moves, it'd be enough for one episode.
Yep.
Jesus. Oh my God. I've never played the last story or the other game in that operation. Actually, I haven't played any of the games in that operation yet. I've watched all of Xenoblade 1. That's it.
You sure did.
Maybe one day if somebody sends me a copy of those games, I'll play them.
Yes. We shall see.
But
here's
also
one.
Rare. The last story.
It's not rare. That's Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, you're right. That's Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yep.
Yep.
And Jet Force Gemini.
And I don't know.
Blast Core.
It's Killer Instinct. Sea of Thieves.
There you go.
their more recent
Oh yeah.
option.
There you go.
Which I think by this release, they might have introduced the Safer Seas option now. So
Hmm.
now you can actually play through the story without having to worry about other people online sinking your boat and stealing your quest items.
Oh, good.
Bitches. Yeah. So I might finally go back and finish the game. Because it hasn't been great when people could steal my shit. And it's like, I'm trying to do story. Please.
Hmm.
I'm not here for you.
Hmm.
God.
Hmm.
All right. One last showcase, and then we're moving on to the real discussion of the episode. I like me some retro characters. I think they're fun. I was a big supporter of Rob for Brawl. I was a big supporter of the Duck Hunt Dog for Smash 4. And then we didn't get a retro character in Ultimate. It's like, sad. But I'd say there's probably two. Right now, there's probably two characters at the top of my list as far as like what retro fighters I am most pulling to see them be added to a future Smash game. One of them, I think I may have already covered in his showcase at one point. Let me double check on that. I don't remember for sure. Oh no, I haven't covered them. Cool. So I'll keep their name to the ether for now. But one of the two kits that I most pull for right now is the Balloon Fighter from Balloon Fight.
Hmm.
I love the idea of this character being in. First of all, there is the Iwata legacy with him. Two, he's just a guy who flies around with balloons. That's all he does. But there's actually quite a bit that you can do with him. And also imagine it as being like a character that is like just the opposite of Little Mac, who sucks in the air, but Baby Balloon Fighter sucks on the ground. Because the balloons help him with his air mobility, but when he's on the ground, they're actually just like kind of like dragging behind him, which makes him move a little bit slower on the ground, and he doesn't have as good control because the balloons are literally pulling him back or holding him back rather. I like the thought of that. I think it's an interesting thing. As for this character's, whole deal. Entrance. He just like appears in the air, just like hovering above the stage a little bit, and kind of just like slowly lands downward. Just a real quick landing. His Kirby hat. Kirby hat will wear the Balloon Fighter's blue helmet over his head, and he'll also have a single red balloon tied to his back. Balloon Fighter by default will have two balloons. At least I'll get to that when I get to the extras. When I get to it a bit later, because he has a whole gimmick related to his balloons. Whole ass thing. As for his taunts, his up taunt, Balloon Fighter will grab a spare balloon from the ether, pulls it out from nowhere. He
Hmm.
also takes out a marker and he makes a parody of one of his opponent's faces he draws on the balloon. Kind of like holds it up so that the camera can see it, and then he'll kind of like laugh and mock at the balloon before he pops it with the needle. Just real mean spirited shit. Down taunt. The balloon fighter will take a quick moment to make a dog balloon animal and show it off. Because who doesn't love balloon animals? People who don't like squeaky balloons. That's who. Which is valid.
Was that you?
No, I'm fine with it, but I know it's absolutely not a great sound. It's not a great sound. For our third time, out of curiosity, the balloon fighter will stick the hose of his balloon pump into his mouth. Don't try this at home, kids. And he'll try to pump himself up. Kind of Dig Dug-esque,
What the
I
heck?
guess. After his head will quickly inflate like a balloon, the balloon fighter will realize that this was a terrible idea. Rip the hose out of his mouth, and then his head will instantly deflate. I made this moveset many years ago. I may not have been. I made this in 2017. I may not have been okay. I may not have been okay.
That sounds like something I would do.
Hey.
Yeah.
For our victory poses, first one, a large target will be on the bottom of the victory screen with no balloon fighter in sight until he starts to slowly descend into view and land right on the bullseye in the middle of the screen, and he just gives out a simple victory pose. Apparently, I never designed
Nice.
what that victory pose would look like. I just wrote down he lands in a victory pose. Uh, he lands and stands triumphantly. That's
There you
something
go.
that should probably be edited whenever I get around to doing my big Smashtopia edit. Victory post number
Next year,
2.
baby.
Ideally,
Mhm.
a sea of balloons will cover the floor of the victory screen, and you'll just see the balloon fighter swimming through them and sometimes jumping out like a dolphin before diving back in, giddy as can be. It's the Scrooge McDuck swim through gold coins, but it's swimming through balloons. Imagine a kid in a ball pit, but it's balloons. That's the victory screen. That's it. And
That's
then
great.
our third victory pose. The balloon fighter will jump and cheer in victory as the multiple balloons fly up past the screen.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're all about
So many
balloons here.
balloons.
So
They're
many
they're there.
balloons.
Yes.
Speaking of so many balloons, let's talk about the gimmick for the balloon fighter before we get into anything with a moveset. So,
That latex guy. Yeah.
the balloon fighter has a gimmick completely revolving around balloon management. He has to inflate more balloons and use them in his attacks. This is not too dissimilar to how Olimar has to pluck Pikmin as he uses for his attacks, and if they get KO'd, he has to pluck more Pikmin to replace them. Anytime a match starts, the balloon fighter will start out with 2 balloons tied to his back. Every time he respawns, he'll be reset back to 2. Using his extra skill, however, the balloon fighter can pump up extra balloons tied to his back to a maximum of having 5 balloons at one time. However, read that wrong. However many balloons the balloon fighter has on his back will directly influence his speed in the air and the strength of his aerial moves. The more balloons he has, the stronger those attacks are, but be careful because some attacks will destroy his balloons. Additionally, the more balloons he has at a time, the floatier that he will be in the air, and the slower he'll fall back down to the stage. 2 balloons is considered to be his neutral state. One final note on his balloons mechanic is that the number of balloons the balloon fighter has is also how many times he can jump in the air. So, 2 balloons because he can jump in the air twice. That means normal midair jump plus 1. 5 balloons is
Mm-hmm.
5 jumps. No balloons, well, he's only got the regular singular midair. Actually, no, wait. I have it written down in here that no balloons is no midair jumps. So you can just do the regular jump off the ground. But he
Wow.
requires 1 balloon to do a single midair jump. So balloon management is important.
Yeah, it is.
Which, speaking of, I'll just go ahead and jump to the extra skill. Inflation. Not that kind. Or that kind, you creepy weirdos. The balloon fighter will pull out a bike pump, and he'll just quickly pump up a new balloon. And he'll tie it onto his back. The time it takes is about as long as it takes for Olimar to pluck out a new Pikmin from the ground, so it's pretty speedy. And he cannot have more than 5. If you have less than 1, please pump some balloons. Please.
No.
Okay, that's very annoying. Let's get to the moveset now. Standard special is Static Spark. The balloon fighter will grab any of his balloons and rub it vigorously against the top of his helmet. This will create a small ball of sparkling static electricity that will hang in the air in front of the balloon fighter for a brief second or 2 before it zooms forward across the screen, passing through enemies, dealing a small amount of damage to anyone who it goes through. By charging this move up, the balloon fighter can create a bigger ball of static energy, which will go to about half the size of Kirby at max. The larger the ball is static, the more time that it will spend hanging it around in one spot before it zooms across the screen. This move will fail if the balloon fighter does not have any balloons tied to his back at this time. And these sparks are taken from the little sparks that you're trying to avoid when flying through the game of balloon fights. Except he's creating them now through static electricity. The old classic rub a balloon through your hair and make your hair go all crazy.
I've done it.
You
So
don't
have you.
have hair.
You're right. This is all balloon, actually. Precisely, yeah.
Yes. So our side special. We have inflation for extra skill, so our side special is deflation. Balloon fighter will grab one of the balloons off his back, and then he will point it out in front of him before quickly untying it and sending out a gust of wind in front of him that pushes away any opponent or light items in front of him up to a distance of a quarter of the length of the final destination. Additionally, the balloon fighter will be propelled backwards that same distance, so be careful where you're using this! If the special button is held down, the player can use the control stick to alter the direction the balloon fighter points the balloon in any of the directions, and then whatever direction the balloon is pointed in will be where the wind is blown, and the opposite direction will be where the balloon fighter is propelled. So theoretically, you could use this for recovery going in any direction, including if you need to go up or you need to go down. You can redirect this in any of those directions.
Yeah.
This move is considered great for recovery, as it can be used repeatedly in the air, one time for every balloon the balloon fighter has. That said, this move does consume a balloon, so be careful. Obviously, this means that you cannot use it if you have no balloons. Up special, Balloon Trip. A modified version of the Villagers Up special from previous Smash games, because in Smashtopia, I think I better change Villagers Up special. Did I? No, it's still there. It's just he has his own version of it. For this, the balloon fighter will flap his arms like he does in his original game and begin to fly right up into the air. Comparatively, the distance the balloon fighter can cover with this move, when he has his default 2 balloons, is decidedly less than the villager's movement using this same move. However, having 3 to 5 balloons will increase this distance, and having just 1, obviously, decreases it. You can't go as far through the air. This move also will fail if the balloon fighter has no balloons. Shocker. Balloon management is important with this character. Down special, Balloon Pop. The balloon fighter will take off one of the balloons from his back and hold it in front of him before jabbing a needle right into it, causing the balloon to burst and damage anyone who is right next to him, sending them flying away with knockback. Especially when it is held down, the balloon fighter will take off more of his balloons and line them all up side by side. Once the special button is released, or when all the balloon fighter's balloons have been set up next to him, the balloon fighter will instead dash forwards with his needle, covering a short distance and causing each balloon to burst and deal damage. Obviously, each balloon that gets popped removes that balloon from the balloon fighter's stock, and this move will fail if he has no balloons. Our final smash is Balloon Fight. That final smash is considered to be unique, as the players caught in it still have control over themselves and can try to minimize the amount of damage that they take. The balloon fighter will face the camera and snap his fingers as he pulls any characters in a large radius around the balloon fighter into a cinematic, which is made to look like a level from Balloon Fight's Balloon Trip mode. The screen will scroll to the left, while all of the players trapped in the final smash will have a single balloon tied to their back. These players will then attempt to avoid the floating lightning sparks or avoid falling into the water at the bottom. Players will do this by moving left and right, as well as tapping any button to flap their arms, lifting them a short distance upward, just like you would in Balloon Fight. It's the exact same Balloon Fight controls. The area is moderately hard, although it's randomized to be different every time this final smash is activated. It will last for 10 seconds, and anytime a player touches the spark, they will take roughly 15% damage. If they fall in the water, they'll take roughly 20% as the big fish jumps up through the water and eats them before spitting them back out into the sky. The balloon fighter will also be having a bit of fun themselves, as they will be able to fly around the final smash completely invincible, to try and bump into players to either knock them into hazards or hit them from above to pop their balloon and send them plummeting into the ocean. After the final smash is expired, all players return to the field of battle with their newfound damage added to their meters. This final smash deals no knockback, and this, it's just purely for damage. And this may not be too hard for a single opponent to maneuver the sparks, but since multiple players can be pulled in, and the fact that all players will bounce off of each other, it could cause some chaos. Some new Super Mario Brothers level of multiplayer chaos.
Good times.
Oh, yes. And then for his alternate costumes, he has one based off of the second player skin, which basically reverses his colors of having a red helmet and shirt with blue overalls and blue balloons. He has an alt based off of the SNES colors, an alt based off of the art from the original game's box art, and then an alt based off of Alice from Balloon Kid. Because
nice.
Why not? And then his stage is the Balloon Fight stage from Smash 4.
Great. It's cool how thematically Balloon Fighter ties into what we're going to be talking about in a moment as well.
Yes. There's a reason I chose to do Balloon Fighter and the Stack Up stage, because they're both retro things, and we are going to be today talking about a retro character, creating a moveset for them. A character that, whereas Balloon Fighter is one of my big ones I champion for, I believe this is one of the characters that you champion for on the retro side of things.
Oh yeah.
And
Varoom, varoom.
you've spent years trying to convince me of all of them, and I've always just been like, I don't know. I don't know, boss. I don't know. But no, it's just like, hey, you want to finally do that character I know you want to do? Fine, we can do that character.
Yeah.
It's the Mach Rider from Mach Rider.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about Big Man.
No, we're talking about Doshin the Giant.
Oh hell yeah. I've thought about it. I've thought about that one. It would just be a concept. It would be a concept, all right.
Yeah, I bet. That's one of those where it's like, all right, I would have to watch this skin to be like, what the fuck can even be done here? Because, good God,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know, bro.
Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah, I'm excited to talk about Mach Rider. I think we've come to a nice medium on how to get it done, and it's going to be an interesting episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, let's get to it then.
My bike is ready.
Well then,
Into the moveset we go. Yeah.
hit us with your entrance animation, sir. Oh, I guess we should
Oh, yeah, yeah.
clarify something with Mach Rider here. Mach Rider is going to be running around on the stage. He's not going to be riding his bike, but he will be utilizing the bike for his attacks. But as far as just like being out in the field normally, he's just walking and running. He's not always on the bike. Just get that out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. But now that it has, the entrance does incorporate the Mach Rider's bike. So Mach Rider zooms in on their bike. They get off the bike and cock their gun upwards as they prep for battle. So kind of like the ending of the Endurance Zone where you see that full body art of Mach Rider. There you go, in front of the bike.
All right. My interesting mission is, probably more or less the same thing, just worded differently. The vroom vroom of an engine will be heard as the Mach Rider speeds onto the stage on top of his Mach bike before dismounting it. And the bike disappears and he just stands there.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Same.
There you go.
Same thing.
Yep.
There you go.
Same thing. I'm keeping my wording. Fuck you. It's already written.
Yeah, fuck you.
All right. Well, how about you give me your Kirby hat? Is it just he wears the helmet over his entire body?
It's funny because I'm like moving the wrong fingers. Yes.
Okay, because that's also mine. Just wears the
All I
whole
wrote was
helmet
Mach
over his
Rider's
body.
helmet.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's come on.
Now into the taunts. This is going to be really interesting.
One day we'll do a character, it's a character that just like wears this really weird suit. It's like I feel uncomfortable having Kirby wear this suit. I don't like this.
Voldo.
Yeah, that's one of the options for that. It's like I feel uncomfortable here. Or Pinhead. It's like, man, nah, nah. We can do something else.
What's the name of the character from? Fuck. Wow, I totally forgot. The Sony game. Twisted Metal.
Clown. Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, him.
Sweet Tooth Kirby. That's that's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable.
Yes.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
All that said, we don't have to put Kirby through that ringer today. Instead, we just have to talk about Mach Rider.
Yeah, indeed. So it's taunt time. What's your first taunt?
Okay. Simple enough. Mach Rider throws a fist in the air and proudly proclaims, "I am Mach Rider."
Wow. I think you know what my reaction to is with that. I have no quotes for mine.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be awkward.
Oh boy. So my first one, an 8-bit black oil drum will appear next to Mach Rider. Mach Rider will aim his gun at it and blow up the oil drum as it bursts into a pixelated explosion.
Nice. Okay.
I am Mach Rider?
Jesus. I know.
It's not a name, it's a title!
I am the Mach Rider. How about that?
I am here to mock you up.
Yeah.
Please tell me that's not there.
No, no, but how about
Is
this?
it now?
No, you could be. Mach Rider swaps the ammo on their gun while proclaiming, "I come from the year 2112."
Why are you Tyler Tasmanian tigering this? Oh my god, this is
I
cursed.
wanted to entertain.
You wanted to what?
Entertain.
To entertain.
Oh, Jesus.
What
My
a
second
time.
taunt. Mach Rider will tap a button on their wrist and open up a small... Wow, that's mistyped. Will open up a small screen that pops out of their suit onto their arm. You know, just like a little mini display.
Interesting.
This display will show two routes that he could take for driving, A and B. Mach Rider will then select which route they would like to take, and then they will just close the screen.
Very
It's like
nice.
when you're choosing a level in Mach Rider.
Very good.
Thank
Ready
you.
for this last one?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay. Mach Rider crosses their arms while loudly pronouncing, "I'll deal with you like I did the quad runners."
I hate all of this. I outwardly hate this. Oh my god. I'm just gonna like preemptively say I like all of mine better. Fuck you. For my third taunt, the Mach bike will appear beneath the Mach Rider as Mach Rider grips into the handlebars and rubs up the engine a couple times, as if threatening the other fighters that they're going to get run over. Then the Mach bike disappears.
Nice. Like, oh, I guess you're not getting run over today.
Yeah. So
Well,
it's like
maybe
Ganondorf's
you will
sword in Brawl.
Yeah.
It's like, huh? Look, I have a sword. Yeah, that's all I have for. That's all I'm gonna use it for.
Imagine Mach Rider did not use the bike.
Imagine.
Yeah, imagine. Oh, it's a dark world.
After all.
It's like 2112 all over again.
First victory pose.
Mm-hmm. Mach Rider stands next to the Mach bike while cocking their gun, like in their original artwork.
Mach Rider will ride out onto the victory screen and pop a wheelie as it waves at the camera.
Oh, winks at the camera. So you're gonna show a close up of the face, huh?
No, waves at the camera.
Oh, wait. Okay, waves. Okay, cool. Okay, Mach Rider pops a wheelie and rumbles the Mach bike before driving off. So that's basically the same fucking thing.
Basically, yeah. So we can.
There's one. Yeah.
There, thank God.
Yeah. This.
You got one good thing.
Anyway.
But Mach Rider, you're laughing, but you're internally thinking, "Fuck you."
No, I'm not.
Yeah. Mach Rider will be seen on his bike spinning out in the donut in the center of the screen before pumping their fist up into the air.
Nice. Okay, Mach Rider rides in on the Mach bike with a rumble, driving dangerously close to the camera before skidding to a stop and spraying dirt in its direction.
Mach Rider will be standing next to their bike as they clean off dirt and grime from it, which accumulated during the battle. Once Mach Rider has cleaned off a section, he'll do a great big swipe across the bike as it shines from the cleanliness.
Getting all that grease off of Wario and Waluigi is really something.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This is going to be so
ones?
difficult. Wow. Such a hard task. So which quotes are we going to put in?
Let's look at victory poses first.
They shoot an oil drum and say, "I am Mach Rider." Yeah, victory poses. How about that?
Yeah, how about that? We're obviously having a Papa Wheelie.
Yep.
Tell me what your first one was again.
Basically standing next to the bike, with their gun up in the air, like in the Mach Rider artwork from the NES.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then your other one was the turning around with
No,
right.
Papa Wheelie donut and then cleaning his bike.
That's right. Donut is what it's called. Donut and clean. Okay.
Honestly, I kind of want to do our three that are involving the bike: the Papa
Mm-hmm.
Wheelie, the donut, and then skidding across the side and spraying dirt.
Yeah, sounds good to me. It is. I mean, the bike is the centerpiece of the character, so it makes sense.
Right. Like as much as
Mm-hmm.
we can use the bike, we should use the bike.
I think so too.
All right. So that was easy. Here's the pain. Taunts.
Mm-hmm. So he grips on. So Mach Rider grips onto the handlebars of the bike and revs the engine.
Yep.
Essentially,
Yep.
there's a
I
bike taunt.
I have that one. Then I have the little display appearing out of his suit, him selecting a route, and then him shooting an oil drum.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so my three quotes. Where are we gonna place these quotes on those moves? I've got it. Looking at the A and B routes. I am Mach Rider. It's a great idea.
Looking at the A and B routes, a computerized voice saying, "Route selected."
Yes, you are Mach Rider.
I will deal with you when you return to 2188 because you're actually time traveling.
That's also true, actually.
No, it's not. There's no
Um,
time travel in Mach Rider.
they are now.
Nope.
Yep. 2112 on a time. Uh, what was Jesus? Sorry, I just got a notification that was too loud. Let me turn that off. All that said, okay. So how about this?
Uh huh.
I have a proposition.
Okay.
You may not like it, but I think it's a fair compromise.
Okay.
Okay. We use all of mine.
No. Absolutely not.
I,
Absolutely not.
I'm just fucking with you. Let's do all yours.
I am Mach Rider. It's like, no. No. No.
I have something to say about where that came from, but I will save it till after we do the movesets.
Okay.
After we do the movesets, I will reveal how I came to this conclusion for the taunts.
Okay.
But we don't have we're not using them. We're not. Okay.
Did you want to discuss them without the quotes, or did you want to move on?
Oh no, because without the quotes, they're fairly nondescript. They're something you plug into anybody.
Okay. I mean, I think you could have one, since we don't have his artwork reference. You could have one where he just he stands in that pose because there are smash taunts where kind of just stand in a pose and that's it. That's all there is to it.
That's true. That's true. Uh, shit.
And if
You can
that's the
have them shoot.
case, I would probably replace. Shockingly, I would probably replace the bike taunt because I think we're probably gonna have him getting on the bike in the moves. So I
Yeah, that's true. That's true. How about yeah? Plus, the bike is technically in there. You can have him stand in front of the bike.
I don't think the bike would appear for that.
Okay.
I think he
Oh
just
yeah,
strike
I
that
think
pose.
that's fine. I think that's fine. Mm-hmm.
All right, special moves. Let's get to it. I'm curious to see where this is gonna go. Honestly, I think there's a couple
Mm-hmm.
things that are guaranteed, but we'll see where this ends up. But Jonno, What is your standard special for the Mach Rider?
Yes. This is probably not that surprising. My standard special is the Mach gun.
Oh.
Yeah, so Mach Rider shoots their Mach gun. It's kind of designed like a machine gun, so it works like a machine gun. So for his standard special, he wields a gun. There's a GIF. The gun can be angled in any direction while being shot. So, like in Contra or other old running guns, the Mach gun pounds out pellet-sized bullets at top speed, dealing persistent small damage that can cause constant flinching or help wear down shields. The bullets eventually run out, causing Mach Rider to be unable to use the move for a few seconds before it recharges. Done.
Okay. Question. The Mach gun, is this the gun that he is holding in that art, or is this like the guns on the bike?
The gun he's holding.
Okay. So mine's going to be a little bit different then, because my move is called Mach Guns.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
The Mach bike will appear, and anytime in my moves where I say the Mach bike appears, what I mean is that it's going to appear and the Mach Rider will be like automatically riding it, much like when Wario brings out the Wario bike. Bike appears and he's already riding the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the Mach bike will appear. The Mach Rider will take the machine guns that are mounted on the side of it, and he'll just be firing them straight forward. So there is no angling because they are attached to the motorcycle. Can't really angle that. It's going to be fast, continuous fire, much like yours. Possibly could say it's that it's like a burst fire, so it's like there's a couple shots, pause, those couple shots, maybe. But I also have it set to like kind of like with Bowser and his fire breath. Well, you can continuously hold this down. If you do so, the rate of fire will slow down, and the amount of damage from each shot will get weaker. And it just becomes kind of like a fire, 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 where it used to be fire, 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 fire.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Interesting. Okay. Sweet. Mach the name differentiation is kind of funny.
A little bit.
I enjoyed that. Okay, the side special, the crux of the moveset, if you will, is Mach Bike. Mach Rider hops onto their signature motorcycle and rides it around the stage, much like Wario does with the Wario bike. Whoa! Mach Rider has more torque in their engine, though, allowing them to rumble and drive faster than Wario, as well as make sharper turns without falling over as much. The trade-off is that if the bike goes too fast for too long, it runs the risk of having its engine burn out. As the engine approaches burnout, it will start to glow red, and Mach Rider will have to slow down significantly to help ease it. If they don't, the engine glows faster and hotter and bigger until it eventually explodes, causing significant damage to everyone involved. At this point, the bike breaks apart and its pieces can be used as projectiles, and Mach Rider will not be able to summon the Mach Bike again for 10 seconds. While on the bike, Mach Rider can press the standard special button to use the Mach guns, which work the same as their Mach gun, essentially. But they run out of bullets quicker, but you can use them while riding, and there's 2 of them. Funny how that works.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Quick question here. If the Mach Bike breaks and he can't summon the Mach Bike, if his other moves also involve the Mach Bike, are they also disabled? Or just that one move?
Good question. I hadn't thought of that. For the sake of it, I would just say the one move.
Okay. So my side special is similar. I call it Mach Turbo. Because all my special moves involve the Mach Bike, so just calling a move Mach Bike, well, I couldn't do that for obvious reasons. So Mach Bike appears, Mach Rider's riding on it, and he will zoom forward, much like Wario and the Wario bike, to smack into opponents. I was debating whether or not he should be able to turn around like the Wario bike can, or if we should just have it be like, okay, it's just a straight zoom forwards, just to be like, you know, differentiating it a bit. So I wasn't entirely sure about that, but I like what you came up for a lot of it. Something that I think I would add on here, since his bike is hefty looking. Like at least the version in his melee assist trophy, or not assist trophy, his melee trophy looks pretty hefty. I would say that when he turns around, there's like a significant smack to whatever was in front of him as he like
Nice.
smacks the back of the bike into them, dealing a hit of like more damage than if he would have run into them normally and sending them knocked away. I think that'd be a cool thing to add on here. That way you're incentivized to not just run into people, but you wanted to like get close enough to them and then turn around to smack them. That'd be a cool thing to have on there, I think.
That would be. That's really great. Cool. Good idea. Okay, getting back into it.
Yes.
My up special.
The up special, the crux of your recovery, if you will.
Yes. Mach Atom. Mach Rider has a strange ability to atomize at will,
What the fuck?
commonly breaking
What?
apart and reforming whenever a quad runner does in the game.
Okay.
So here it becomes a recovery move. Upon the Mach bike, Mach Rider breaks apart into a string of atoms and then instantly reappears several feet in whatever direction is chosen. The move deals light damage when Mach Rider breaks apart, but much heavier damage if a foe is caught in the middle of Mach Rider's rematerialization. There you go.
Okay. Mine is ejector seat, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Boing! He gets ejected from the Mach Rider bike appears. It says, "Nah, brah." Shoots him up in the air as it ejects him, and it's just
Nice.
he just gets sent flying up into the air. That's it.
Imagining that is pretty funny.
I know, right?
That's
The
pretty
bike
great.
disappears after this occurs because as it should. It's basically like Rush Coil that Mega Man has, but it's funnier.
Yeah, definitely. or Bowser Jr.'s up special, kind of.
But again, funnier, and he doesn't get a hammer like Bowser Jr. does.
True. Does he get a chain whip?
No, he's just normal Mach Rider. He just gets flung up into the air. Maybe he's like spinning around. He's like, "Oh God!" I don't know.
That's how I pictured it. Yep. He's like, "Oh, I am Mach Rider."
I have been betrayed by my Mach bike.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the down special. My down special is Mach Spin. Oh my god. Mach Rider hops back on the Mach bike and pops a wheelie before quickly spinning in place. The move kicks up dirt all around that travels further the longer the move is used. It produces a shield of sorts, bats down some projectiles, and causes persistent damage to anyone caught in it, while also slowing them down. So it's like dirt and mud and grime kicking up and making them slower. Those hit by the Mach bike itself run the risk of being grounded and being dealt pretty decent hard damage like DK's hand slap, while the move becomes buffed in a way the longer it's used. I have it down that the Mach bike will eventually blow like it does in the side special if it's been used too long.
Okay.
Yep.
Mine is
though I can see a world where you don't have to use the last bit. Sorry.
Yeah. My down special is oil slick.
Oh, nice.
Mach bike appears. Mach Rider gets on the Mach bike. Mach Rider presses the button on the Mach bike's handlebars, and he fires out a stream of oil behind him, leaving a little oily puddle. This oil is a trap. Opponents that try to run over it will slip and take damage. It's an oil slick. What do you expect? It's just that. I guess if somebody's right behind him when he uses it, they'll take a little bit of damage, but no knockback because it's just oil. Maybe minimal.
Will Mach Rider also slip on it?
No.
Will it make him faster if he's using the Mach bike on it?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an oil slick.
Okay, gotcha. Not Mach oil?
No.
Okay.
Listen, if ejector seat had started with the word Mach, then I would have to figure something out. But no,
true.
Only Mach guns and Mach turbo
Gotcha.
of the special moves have Mach.
Okay. My final smash is called It Came from 2112.
Motherfucker.
Ah. Mach Rider leaps off stage and into the foreground. The player assumes a first-person view from behind the Mach bike and can unleash various actions onto the stage while in this mode. Pressing any button, they can unleash a barrage of much stronger bullets from the Mach bike's Mach guns, using 2 Corsairs that appear on the screen. The bullets leave a trail of fire in their wake and can immediately pierce shields. While the final smash is ongoing, quad runners, the enemy bikes, will pelt the stage, driving from one side to the other and causing a hubbub. The final smash always ends with Mach Rider releasing a Mach laser from a large gun that peers out from the bike's center light, unleashing a devastating electric ray that can be slowly moved to and fro until it dissipates. The final flash from the ray defeats all the quad runners before Mach Rider returns to the stage.
Okay. I was assuming that the way the quad runners work is much like the Cat and Nana or Latios and Latias assist in Pokeball.
Yeah, yeah. Or like a really fast Topi. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to clarify here. Like, are they like driving on the platforms? Or are they just like flying through the air at different directions?
I was originally thinking they go on platforms, but I see the merit in doing it. I think it's cleaner to do it the way you're describing.
Yeah, because depending on the stage, that could be problematic.
It could be broken, or it could be the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yes. There you go.
Okay. For my final smash, it's called Mach Rider.
Nice.
The Mach bike appears. Mach Rider gets on it, and he does a light speed dash forwards all the way to the other end of the screen. Any opponent that is hit by the bike gets knocked into the air and lands in a cinematic displaying a 3D version of the original Mach Rider game.
Oh, nice.
Now, these other characters that Mach Rider hit will appear on their own bikes on the road, but Mach Rider also appears on the road, and he does like you do in Mach Rider. He bumps into their bikes, shoots their bikes down to force them off the road. It's like, oh, that's a nice bike you got there, Pichu. Here, let me destroy it and cause you to go flying off the road into an explosion. So it's a tiny bit customized for each character because they would all be appearing on a bike, taking the place of the quad runners. And once all opponents have been driven off the road, the final smash will end. They will take damage and they'll go away.
Wow. Mach Rider finally talked in your moveset. It's like, that's a nice bike you've got there, Pichu. It's a shame what's going to happen to it.
Yeah. It's direct quote.
Yeah. And then Pichu blows up, and in the distance, zooms in on Mach Rider and he says, I am Mach Rider.
Pichu says that?
Yes.
Okay, Pichu says, I am Mach Rider. I just, I'm against.
Everyone does, in fact. Oh, yeah, we have the extra skill still.
Yes.
Okay. This is, it's a little, let me know what you think about this. My extra skill is gear shift.
Shit! Mine is called gear shift.
Nice.
And it's also very weird.
I didn't go into horrible detail about how this works. I just said that there's 4 different gears, like in the game. Mach Rider has the ability to switch gears on the fly. This affects how Mach Rider plays both on and off of the bike. Gear 1, standard gear. Gear 2 is more of a defensive mode, where Mach Rider is slower at the expense of being harder to knock around. Gear 3 is a speed mode that makes Mach Rider much faster, but at the expense of landing less significant blows. And Gear 4 is a height mode, like a velocity, a jump mode, vertical mode, where they have much more bounce to the way the bike operates and how they're able to jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is similar, but mine is all speed related.
Oh, interesting.
So, Mach Rider is able to use gear shift to gain a temporary speed boost on 3 different power settings. And I say 3 because he's already in first gear. First gear is default. That's normal Mach Rider. When he shifts into second gear, he gets a slight boost for 10 seconds to his movement speed. Third gear is a greater boost, but it only lasts for 5 seconds. And then fourth gear is an immense, crazy speed boost, but it only lasts for 2 seconds. So it's a great get out of hell free card, but you got to be quick about it using it.
Nice.
Downside is that there is a cooldown of 20 seconds, no matter which gear you swapped into. So even if you went to second, third, or fourth, it's going to be a 20-second cooldown. Additionally, if you had used third gear, then you will take increased damage for a short time after, because like you just moved faster than you're supposed to, and your body's like, bro, what? Oh my god, this is not what we're supposed to do. And then after fourth gear, when you use that, after that 2 seconds of insane movement, you're stunned for 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I actually took some of the inspiration of this from My Hero, actually, because he has gear shift as a thing in there where you can make something go a lot faster, and if you use it on your body's just like, oh god, we ain't supposed to do this. We're used to consumed more oxygen than the body's supposed to take, and this is pain. So I'm just like reflecting. It's just like, this makes sense. If you move your body, you're manipulating its speed. Your body's gonna rebel against you. Like, bro, no, don't do this to me, please. Hurts. So that's actually where the inspiration for that came from.
I like it.
Because I was like, how can I
Actually,
make these different speeds work? And I was just like, I don't really know what to do. And I was like, I thought about it, I was like, oh, actually, wait a minute. I have a blueprint right over here already. And boink, there you go.
I guess you could say the inspiration for mine was just little Mac with his hair photoshopped.
Oh, so Shulk.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. He would never be in. He's just a Photoshop little Mac. Ah, the Smash 4 days. Good old ESRB leak.
I am Shulk.
From the year, what? What year is Shulk from, Jonno? Master of Xenoblade Knowledge. AB7? Is that the year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that actually the year, or did you make that up right there?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Why don't you go say hi to Alpha for me?
Okay.
Alright. Alright, so let's figure out these moves, what we're using. First of all, I liked my Final Smash, but I think your Final Smash wins out. I think that's a clear winner. Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of like him like shooting down the other characters. That's funny to me. Yeah. But I think your Final Smash makes a lot more sense. It feels very it feels a lot like Zero's Samus's. But I think it makes sense. The only thing I wasn't sure about, the only thing I kind of wanted to bring up is like, instead of a laser, what if he's like basically lobs a bomb and just a big old explosion at the end of it instead of a laser blast?
Sounds good. Sounds 80s action to me.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
The Mach bomb.
Yep. Oh, that paints it in a whole new way, like Arnold Schwarzenegger being the one to voice Mach Rider. Precise. Anyway. Okay, yeah, I like your Final Smash quite a bit, but yeah, I guess kind of the inspiration behind that one was I just try where I can, where it makes sense to plug in something that's not CG.
Of course.
Yeah, so okay, yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. I think your side special is more thought out. The only thing I think we might need to change on it is the Mach guns. Because I guess the question is like, which version of Mach gun we're going for the standard special? Yours, where it's just him using his normal gun, or me, where it's the machine guns on the bike.
Oh, it should be yours.
If that's the case, then those guns have to be removed from your side special.
Yeah, I feel like, because we're likely going to have every other move use the bike, so it would be weird to have the Mach gun solo on
exactly.
So let's do it. That's fine.
All right. Up special. Jesus. We have ejector seat, or we have atomizing himself. Whatever that Mach Atom at the
Yeah, yeah.
Brent.
Or just
Fucking
atomize, or yeah.
Jesus
Yeah, so
Christ.
in the Mach Rider game, when you die, you break apart like that. In a discussion with a friend recently, a mutual friend of ours, you were actually there for that discussion. They had mentioned, oh, Mach Rider can atomize themselves. And I was like, what? What are you talking about?
I
Then
don't.
then my mind was blown.
That's just a death and respawn animation. It's not him actually
I
atomizing
know.
himself.
And yet, I mean, it's a reference to the game itself.
Uh...
Mm-hmm. Call it Mach Break.
I mean, I want to say that it's just teleport, which, let's be honest, it's a teleport. But mine is also, it's just a jump. You boil it down to it,
Mm-hmm.
we have a teleport versus a jump.
Yep.
Neither one of
You
them
do
are actually that unique, no matter how we dress it up.
you do it tiebreaker style. Let's call in Trevor.
Hey, dog. Dog? Wake
There you
up.
go.
Dog? I need you to come here. I need you to tell me what's the better option, dog. Not stretch. Why are
It's
you
like I
stretching?
abstain. He just walked away.
They're stretching.
Okay.
They've been
Okay.
sleeping, and
Yeah.
then I chucked baby Luigi at them. Like a horrible pet owner, you should not chuck a baby at a dog.
True.
You chuck a baby at a salad bowl.
Hmm. At least one of those objects is inanimate.
I don't know.
Yes. Yes, dog. Roll about.
All right, dog, come here. I got a question. Should we use ejector seat, or should he atomize himself? Mm-hmm. Yep. Tell me. What? Really? That's what? Seriously? Uh. Okay. Dog says just do a basic uppercut.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The layman's option.
The boring choice.
Mm-hmm. I understand. It's not as controversial.
I did have one other idea I considered, but it would basically be
Mm-hmm.
like a ramp boost. Just like drives up on a ramp and launches himself into the air. But I
That would
wasn't
be
really sure how
interesting as
that would
well. But
look, and I thought that might be better served for another character.
yeah, I can think of the character.
Yep.
um, yeah. Um, I agree. It's hard to imagine. It's a good concept, but hard to imagine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you feel strongly that it should be the ejector, I'm not going to fight it.
I honestly don't. I like. I. It's funny to look at, but boiling
Hmm.
down to it, this is a teleport versus a jump. So
It really is.
it's not like either of these are like actual
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. This teleport does damage at the very least, so that's different in a way.
Give me the full expedition for that one again. Actually.
Okay, so again, Mach Rider breaks apart and reforms. So they break apart into a string of atoms, or however you want to call it, and then instantly reappear, separate in whatever direction is chosen. It deals light damage upon the break apart, but much heavier damage if a foe is caught in the middle of the rematerialization.
Okay.
So,
I
like Mach Rider is forming over them.
I feel like if
Hmm.
we did that, we should have the bike appear, and then kind of like how I mentioned for Oil Slick, you would like press a button on the bike to activate this. That way, we still have all special moves involving the bike. because right
All
now
right.
it's not.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, sorry. They are on the bike. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that works too. Yeah, I could go either way. I understand why you think it would be weird because it's the death animation turned into a move. But yeah, either which way.
Mm.
I I do want to go the atomized route just because it's so strange, but I could go either way.
I mean, we can do it.
Okay. And if we do, I'll just dust it up and make it sound better.
Make it sound like he's going for a swim through
I,
space.
Mach Rider, am going through a swim
Through space.
through space
Yes.
in the year 2112.
No. 2139.
There
We've
you
transported
go.
through time now.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
Down special.
What was yours again?
Oil slick.
Oh, yeah. Oil slick or dirt. What are you thinking?
It sounds like you're already poo-pooing on yours because you just called it as dirt.
No, I do like the move. I thought it was something. There was a character we talked about that had, and I think you came up with it, where they were smashing sand or dirt around to have a similar effect on on this podcast. And for the life of me, I can't remember who it was. But I was like,
What?
oh, it could
Describe
be a
describe the attack again.
um. Mach Rider hops on the Mach bike and pops a wheelie before quickly spinning in place. The move kicks dirt up all around, and the dirt travels a little further the longer the move is used, because you're digging further into the ground. This produces like a shield that slaps down some projectiles and slows down opponents that the dirt and mud is hitting. If if you're hit by the Mach bike itself, it grounds you and slaps you and like hits you really hard, kind of like a single use of DK's like hand slap move.
Oh, that does sound really familiar.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I know it was a move you did. It was a move you did on a character on this podcast, and we didn't go for it. And we're like, oh, we could always use it on somebody else because it's technically a good move. And then I forgot who it was.
I'm looking through our past characters that we've designed, and none of
Mm-hmm.
them feel like it's this.
Yeah.
But that does sound like something I did. I can't tell what it was. Maybe it was Poochie?
I think it was after Poochie.
Well, it wouldn't have been Medusa or Ninja Breadman. Cranky Kong, I don't think so. Or even Beak, Byleth, Chrono, all of that is a no. King Boo wouldn't make sense. Takamaru, Bandanity, Amaterasu, Tom Nook, Noah, Slippy Toad. Yeah, none of the characters, none of them sound right.
Oh, could it be something that hasn't published yet?
No, because everything is published.
There's one that isn't.
Well, yes, but that wasn't.
Yeah.
They didn't. We didn't do that for them either, and that's not what we
Okay.
would have been debating.
Mm-hmm.
Could it have been just like a showcase?
It could maybe a showcase, but I remember debating over the move. So weird.
Showcase doesn't look right either. I don't know. Like we're basically talking about, hey, remember that pocket sand attack you made? It's like vaguely, but not for who.
It's the Mandela effect, and it's here. We
I'm
just stumped
I'm looking
ourselves.
at the list of characters here, and none of them sound right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh,
I think it involves a sword.
maybe it does. You think this was Noah?
I think it was. I think it was Noah.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was Noah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Because I was using different characters' moves. Yeah, I think it was Noah. I think that's who it was.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I remember this now. God, how strange.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay, so admittedly, my mind was distracted trying to think about that throughout half of your description. So can you
hmm
say it again?
Okay, I had to look back at the date that we recorded that, and at least it was actually it was about 5 months ago. Well,
Damn.
um, yeah. Okay. Yes, Mach Rider hops onto the Mach bike and pops a wheelie, and quickly spins in place. Like constantly is turning in place, like a
What?
tornado.
While he's still popped?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
The move kicks up dirt all around, and it travels further the longer the move is used.
Okay, so it's a
This
death
dirt,
tornado.
yes, the dirt can bat down some projectiles, and as it travels out further, it slows down opponents that are caught up in the dirt and mud. Those hit by the Mach bike itself run the risk of being grounded and severely damaged.
Okay.
Done.
Works.
I like the move, and I would also be fine with going with the more simple oil slick and more of a utility move.
No, no, that's fine. Plus, I have other things that oil slick can be moved to.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Like?
Uh, a character that I haven't made a move set for, but I've had ideas
Oh,
for.
oh.
So
Well, yeah.
see, the problem with Mach Rider for me is that several of the move ideas that I've had for a character like Mach Rider also apply to any other character that would be like on a bike or something similar. So it's like, some of these moves can be used on multiple things. So it's like, oh, we're not using oil slick here? Cool. I'll use it on one of the other ones. This works for
Okay,
me.
okay, okay. Um, yeah. The one thing I do like about oil slick a lot is that you're pressing a button on the bike, just like you will be with the Mach Atom thing.
Yeah.
So it's okay. But yeah, if you're feeling the Mach spin, and I mean, I won't argue against it.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay, all right.
Extra skill. Gear shifter. Gear shift.
Yours easily.
Yeah, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think though about the part about like the negatives to using it? The increased damage after third gear and then being stunned for 2 seconds after fourth gear.
Those are both fine to me.
Think so? That you don't think that's too
Mm-hmm.
much?
No, no, I really don't. If a future me from 2112 thinks that it is, then I'll let you know. But I think it's okay.
Okay.
And then it's a 20-second cooldown, right?
Yep. Hefty cooldown
Okay. Well, I
because
mean, yeah, you're letting the body return from atoms.
sure.
No, not really, but yeah, sounds good.
All right. I guess next up, any unique traits that you have? I do not have extra jumps because it feels like it only makes sense if you was using the bike to jump up from first, and since that's not established, then it didn't make sense to me.
hmm Um, I have that if you press the down button to crouch, Mach Rider can do the duck walk.
This is the second time you've brought this up. I don't remember when you brought it up before, but I remember being just as confused then as I am now.
Yeah. Anyway, no, there's
Okay.
nothing.
Okay. I feel like that was also the resolution we reached last time too. Cool. Good enough.
Probably.
Probably. Alts. Mine are just colors. At first, I tried to base them off of the different power ups that you get in Mach Rider, but then like the artwork, I don't know about you, but I imagined that the default image would be like the blue and red armor artwork in Mach Rider. But it's also not the default Mach
hmm
Rider. It sounds like that's one of the power up colors. So then I was just like, ah, fuck it. I'll just make up colors. I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm. The red and blue one you're talking about?
Yeah, red and blue with the white helmet is basically what I in my mind is like the default skin.
Mm-hmm. Some have said it should be the melee outfit, but no, I agree. The NES one is the way to go. The melee one could be a secondary costume. Um, Looking at like the quad runner enemies in the game, you could go like a green and gold or whatever for one of them. I also went weird with a few of them, like
Oh god.
kind of like Snake's camo. Like why not? Why not have Mach Rider fighting in a tiger print costume? Or like a purple tie dye, like the balls that you used to play with during childhood.
What?
But that looked like someone dropped a drop of ink into the clouds.
What?
Yeah. Or yeah.
I mean, my green all
And
is Makoto's torso, arms, and legs all become dark green, while his shoulder pads, gloves, and boots all become cyan, and then his helmet becomes turquoise.
cool.
Yeah.
What about an all gold Mach Rider?
I don't have gold. I do have a yellow one where his
Nice.
torso, arms, and legs all become yellow. Shoulder pads, gloves, and boots all become orange, and then his helmet is pale yellow.
It's like a Pikachu colored Mach Rider. Or cheese.
It's supposed to be an eyesore.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely meant to be an eyesore. I picked those colors in mind so that it would be like, oh god, I don't want to play this. This is ugly.
What if you you dressed up in that yellow garb and says that's the perfect place for them to say I am Mach Rider.
No.
Oh, I forgot to mention. Yeah, so the origin for those taunts. I came up with all of them as like a cheesy reference to like a Captain Falcon type character. About an hour before this episode started. I was like, "Oh shit, I don't have taunts. Whoops."
You should have let that cook more.
Yeah. But I'm happy with the ones that we got.
Okay.
We were Mach Rider today.
Sure.
It's like the ending of the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. Home stage. It's
Mach-
it's like the Duck Hunt stage, but it's the Mach Rider game, right? I guess it'd be more
yeah.
like the F-Zero Mute City SNES stage, but it's the Mach Rider characters
Yeah.
just racing
There
through
you go.
the NES game.
Is
Done
is
deal.
it like one for one for the NES or is it 3D?
I kind of feel like one for one. What do you think?
I agree because it's already precedent.
Yeah, and like there would be additional platforms because unlike the Mute City stage, there's not going to be three cars at the bottom that you can use for platforms. There's only going to be like the one bike, so you gotta have some platforms above to deal with. But if you touch the
Mm-hmm.
ground, it's going to be like, hey, whoa, we're racing here, and it's going to pop you up in the air as you take some damage because the road's moving.
Mm-hmm. What other stage could there even be?
A 3D
Fighting
version
on
of
Mach
it.
Rider. Yeah, fighting on Mach Rider's trophy from Melee.
Honestly, I wish
It
Event Matches in Brawl brought back those trophy fights because that was cool. That was
was.
cool.
It was definitely.
God, who? It was Goomba, Majora's Mask. What was the third one?
Mm. Hitmonlee.
Was it?
No, I have no idea. Braid.
Let me see here. Okay, the Trophy Tussle 3 was on Majora's Mask. Oh, it was Entei.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. I wish I did those again.
Yeah. We could have thought on the Glowbox trophy in Smash 4.
It's true.
That was a thing. Wow, we already have Mach Rider.
We
Here
already
he
have Mach
is.
Rider. He's done. Uh, I don't know if this is record time, but this was actually a very easy one to go through.
Mm-hmm.
One of our easier characters by far. I think this is also the least my moves have been used in any character we've ever done.
Really?
Yeah, I only had the standard special and the extra skill. All the other
Oh
moves are
shit!
yours. Yeah,
Oh no!
this is very uncommon for
Mm-hmm.
this podcast.
It
Not that it's a
yeah.
bad thing at all.
Yeah, it's happened a couple times on the opposite end of the spectrum, so I guess it's just natural it happens here once.
Yeah,
This time around. But yeah, I'm happy with the moves. You came up with a great idea for the gear shift on extra skill, so I'm really happy with that one, especially. Um, yeah, here it is.
here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's a question: what if he was an Echo Fighter of Zero Suit Samus?
I think we covered that in a previous episode.
We did. That was last episode.
Yeehaw!
Yippee yippee.
Get him, cowboy. Get
Yeah.
him from the year 2112.
That said, Mach Rider is done, but there's always another episode until there isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But next time, it's a Smasher Dash, and this one has been unusual because we didn't pick the characters for this Smasher Dash. For this next episode, we reached out to our 4 most commonly recurring guests and asked them, what are some characters that you would like to see added into the next Smash game? And we picked one character from each and are pitting them against each other in a Smasher Dash episode. So, to our friends, don't get mad when we don't pick your choice.
But do get happy when we do.
If
If we may choose none of them.
that's against
Just
the
kidding.
rules.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunate.
Yeah. But that said, we done.
Mm-hmm.
See you all in the next one.
Yeah. See you then.